Well, let's start first with the Running Lane XC Championships, which will be live on MileSplit. December 2nd. Registration is still open until the 26th. It's right around the corner, and this is kind of beginning to look like a really great race on the gold side, both the boys and girls. What are you seeing so far out of the entries?
Yes, I must say this is probably one of my favorite meets of the year. I remember covering it when we saw Newbury Park drop some amazing historic performances. We saw Natalie Cook do amazing things there. So this meet is full of energy. That's what you can expect when you go to Running Lane, regardless if there's mud or if there's sun in the sky. But just looking at the girls' gold race, this is what I'm most interested in. There's a lot of top named individuals that come into mind, like Mason Fletcher, Nikki Sutherland, who I consider a veteran at the sport, Addison Moore, who's just an up-and-coming star. Tula Fabush is someone that comes into mind. Julia Score. They're all going to be in the mix. And so this girls' race is what I'm looking forward to, as well as crossing my fingers that the weather permits for some really fast times, because I feel like that's where you go if you want to drop a personal best. You got to go to Huntsville.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to that girls' race, and especially on the guys' side, I feel like Cheyenne Mountain, I feel like they're going to get after it next weekend, and they finished second behind Niwot at the Colorado Cross Country State Championships, finished with a 16:12 average. So regardless of how you look at it, the boys' race, the girls' race, it's going to be incredible to watch.
One quick storyline from what you just mentioned there on the girls' side. Mason Fletcher.
Yes.
8th grader.
From I should have mentioned that
West
too. Yeah.
Virginia. This past weekend, we just saw basically the first statement-making race from an 8th grader in New Mexico, Gianna Raymer.
Yeah.
Now we got another one kind of setting herself up for a very good performance.
This 8th grade class is incredible.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Wait till they come into the high school scene next year.
Well, when I looked at the Reimer's performance and I look back a couple years, I mean, a lot of the names that we saw in recent seasons are now at the top of high school cross country.
Yeah.
Emily Wisniewski.
Yes.
Abby Faith Cheeseman.
Yeah.
Ariane Olsen of Michigan. There were all these names, obviously, that just continue to have success. So this is a good sign for these girls, just to move from one stage to the next. And it'll be fun to see, because even last year, Sophia Rodriguez ran Running Lane, I believe, and she was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So we're just getting another one potentially here, and we'll see what they can do. Heading towards 2,000 entries, I think the entries will still have some time to shake them up a little bit.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think we'll get some big names, but we already have some state champions, entered into both the races, and I think on the boys' side, what I'm watching for is maybe a Utah team this year. Last year, Riverton won the boys' installment in a really hard-nosed race that was muddy. Orem is now entered in 2023, and Orem has had a great season in Utah. They had a state champion by the name of Austin Westfall, who was in the race, 15 flat. He could be a potential champion contender here. I like Cheyenne Mountain, as you said. They were underrated in 2020 when they ran the second fastest average of all time in 14:49, and they're sneaky good.
Yeah, they are.
As you said, finishing second to Niwot. And then we have Riku Suji from Kentucky, state champion. Luke Sievers, a sophomore from Missouri, state champion, beat Andrew Hauser, his teammate this year at state. Joseph Barriola from Arkansas, state champion. Jaden Merrick, a sophomore from Iowa, just finished 10th at Heartland. This is a race I've been telling Will and Sean that, there's a beauty to this race in that it kind of features runners that are like the next in line.
Yeah, I agree.
We're going to talk about these runners beyond this point. It's where they start, really, and I think that goes kind of unspoken about sometimes, but this is really like a race that can highlight maybe the next generation of runners.
If you think about it, this is our 4th installment. Every single year I can remember the different teams that won and also the individuals and their up and coming stars, and some of them, like I think of Jenna Hutchins running very well at BYU. Natalie Cook is doing her thing as well. Newbury Park, you think of Leo and Lex Young doing great things at Stanford, and you're seeing these up and coming stars being developed here at Running Lane. So we're getting a huge glimpse of what the future of track and field and cross country could be like.
Absolutely. And they get their race to shine here too. Guys like Westfall can win a national race, which also I think is part of the allure there too.